we would like to do is to invite the grandparents and the senior members of the family to come forward and just very briefly, within a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, to give some advice to this young couple. So please, if we can have come forward Padma Gopi's grandmother, my pretender's grandmother, Tarini, if you could please come forward.
She already gave her advice.
She'll be back in a...
Arjuna's grandma is here. So I think if she would like to say some words first. Yeah, some advice, some blessings. Anything you'd like to share with us?
Just know that your path is, you're always on your path. And just to be happy, just, always look for the positive things. Don't look for the negative things. Always look to stay in the positive kind of things. It doesn't matter what happens, there's always something to think positive about. And if you go that way, you're only attractive. And just be with God and everything will go good. Love you. And welcome to the family.
Paul, would you like to give some
I already did my thing.
advice?
They know everything I have to say.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sri Arjuna and Padma Gopi. Yes, so I'm very happy that Sri Arjuna will be part of the Hawaii family, so you have to bring him back here, Gopi. Yeah. Don't forget that he's part of our family also. So Dr. Paul mentioned about the marriages that Srila Prabhupada performed. So I was reading a little bit about them. And then the second marriage performance that he married 3 different couples. He said to them that he was very proud of his married devotees. He said in the past, Krishna consciousness was given to sannyasis to be spread. He said, but they failed. He said that my married couples, they're making great success in London. Before, Europe did not know about the Hare Krishna movement, and now they do. So he said that he was very proud of us, and we're in Srila Prabhupada's downline. So I'm certain that you all will be givers in your household life, and I'm looking forward to hearing about you. Hare Krishna.
We have many senior Vaishnavas here. Would anyone like to come forward?
May we request?
Yes, please.
Okay. Blessings to both of you. This is a very wonderful ashram to be in. This is how we get more devotees coming into the line. But one thing I have to say is that in the beginning everything is so wonderful. And after a while it kind of calms down. And when all is said and done, I want you to remember to be kind to each other. Think about each other, and remember that there's going to be good times and bad times. Sometimes he'll be weak and you'll be strong. So you have to help him in his weakness time. And sometimes she'll be weak and you'll be strong. And you have to help her through that time. Because that's what you're there for each other for. To help each other in Krishna consciousness and to help each other in this material world. So if you're kind to each other and help each other, it really makes a strong bond. And to know, to give each other a little space, but also to make each other understand that you're there for each other. And the other thing too is that it's really, one thing I found really important to me when I was in a household or ashram, that I felt that as long as I was in that ashram, it's a protection. I felt protected, that I wasn't like, you know. So staying where you have to stay until the time comes that you might change your ashram, it protects both of you from other things out there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful married life, serving Krishna, serving devotees, and also serving each other. And I hope you have some nice kids. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu's. This is Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. And he said it's coming, it's here, and it's going to spread. And by the force, the transcendental potency of Srila Prabhupada's desire to please Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Krishna consciousness is now all over the world. And you are part of a worldwide sangha. This guru, that guru, so many different sanghas, but we're all Lord Chaitanya's soldiers, meant to preach the holy name. So I hope that your life together will be a preaching adventure. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hari Prabhu.
I was just thinking about how it almost seems like yesterday when I was doing the same thing you were. But it's been a long time, and when I was in your place and people like me were giving advice, I thought, well, you know, I'm going to be fine. But I needed all those people, and especially my mother, my father-in-law, to help and to give advice, and of course other people as well. So I hope that when times are good and when times are bad, that's what to do. You reach out to those people who've gone through it and kind of know the tricks, you know. They, sort of tricks, but yeah, they know what to do. And I think that's the biggest thing to learn. But and you know, if you want to come to me too, that's great too. So I certainly hope that things go very well, and certainly all of this is great too. So enjoy this as well. All right.
Thank you. In 2005, I was in Govardhan, Guruparatham Prabhu's school, and your father was my temple commander. And I don't know, maybe she doesn't remember, she was a very cute girl. And I was thinking she's so fortunate, she was born in the clan of Shrutakirti, great Kirti Prabhu, and father, who is named by Prabhupada Persevali Mayapur in 74. So it's very fortunate soul. So I can wish all the best in Krishna consciousness, because I have to learn from you. It's from the very beginning of life, the Krishna consciousness. Sri Arjuna, I know him from last year. He came, he's also this great family, Vaishnava family, Tayuta. And I saw him chanting, singing kirtan, very sweet. And I said, oh, wonderful Vaishnava, I have to learn from him, Kauta Surendra Krishna. And his mother and sister, I remember, they came and we did wonderful service in the temple. So I wish you all the best, and I'm so fortunate to come to your wedding ceremony and wish you wonderful life in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Be that way, and it did turn out that way. But I'm so happy for you, and I always saw you just like my daughter. Even when my daughters came, you're always such a good big sister to them. And when you met Sri Arjuna, we were just so thrilled that Krishna had found the perfect person for you. Always thinking about, how is Krishna going to find somebody for such a special young woman? And he did. You always trust Krishna that he'll come through like that. And I want to echo what my husband was saying about, I remember being in that seat, in the hot seat, somebody's giving advice to, and I watched the video, and all those words that the people said, they're so true. Every little bit. And you just really, really, really want to look at this experience as a learning opportunity. They can bring you closer together, but only on the condition that you're both serving Krishna. That's the commonality. Whatever differences you may have, whatever arguments you may have, you should come back to Krishna consciousness. So, I'm really mad at you. I'm really mad at you. Let's chant japa together. Okay. The best piece of advice that anybody ever gave me was actually off camera, and I wanted to share it with you, because you probably haven't heard it. It came to me sometime into my marriage, where I was having difficulties, and I was turning to people who weren't really that supportive of my marriage. They made me feel better about myself, but they didn't make me feel closer to my husband. They made me feel like I had every right to be mad at him, and how dare he treat me like that. And all of a sudden, I was chanting, because I was crying. I was very sad. And Krishna just kind of told me, you need to seek out better friends. So I made an endeavor to seek out other women who had good marriages, and I started talking to them about my problems. And sure enough, Krishna protected me. My friends started telling me things that I could do to work better with my husband. And even when there were things that were unjust or whatever, it was simply this is the material world, and if you don't learn it this way, you're going to learn it another way. So always remember that this marriage that you're embarking on is a lesson for both of you. And you are an example for the world, for your community, at least, world at most. And if I want to bring it back full circle, at Upadesa, when I got married, several of the people in the room, they're not married anymore. But their advice still holds true. So remember that sometimes advice can come from very unorthodox places. You may not want to hear, oh, well, why are you saying that? You don't do that. Grandma calls that bounce back, right? Don't bounce back. So always take the advice. If it's good advice and it makes you feel more enthusiastic in your Krishna consciousness, then it's good advice no matter who it comes from. Even when it comes from somebody like me who really struggles to be a good wife and put Krishna in the center. But I hope you guys will do a better job than we have. We're always hoping that the future generations will improve. So we look at the older generation and we think, wow, you guys are really dysfunctional. We really had a hard time too. We're dysfunctional also. We hope you're much, much, much more functional than we are. Many, many blessings and many happy, healthy, and Krishna conscious children to you. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Neither one of you know me very well, but as someone who persevered a serious amount of time in marriage life, I have a couple pieces of advice. One is that my wife always hated if I ever thought she was inferior, dumb, or stupid idea. Any hint of that would just take her to the other side. So that always has to be guarded against. the wife is a complete equal, if not somewhat, in a senior position because of her unique Shakti position. And they have one joke that the husband always gets the last word when he says, "Yes, dear." So in interacting in difficulties, often desire is not always logical. And if you approach desire always from a scriptural or logical position, then you won't be able to reconcile the unique nature of the present and all the influences affecting our desires, billboards, movies, etc., etc. They enter into our mindset, want it or not. And therefore, with our intelligence, we have to be able to preach to the mind. And by preaching to the mind the philosophy of Krishna consciousness and the proper way of action, we can always convince each other towards harmony. Harmony is always better than being right. So I'll stop there. Vanchikopa to the
We have time for maybe one or two more.
Dhanavat pranams. Sri Arjun, your name is so beautiful. The first time I heard it, it's so fitting for someone as dear as Padma Gopi. Padma, dear, I want to thank you so much for your mother is such a gem here on this island and to our community. She's constantly engaging our children in such a beautiful art form to remember Krishna, and you so willingly always let her go and let her give her heart and her soul to these girls, no matter what and how, no matter what, if it ever took away from your attention or anything. And you would come and you would help. And I don't know if you know this, but you always had a lot of little faces looking up at you, and they would see you, and they see you chanting. They see how you would hold yourself, and to always walk in that example. And then today, you give them, all of these small girls here that have always looked up to you, how sweet that this process is and can be, and to find someone when Sri Krishna truly arranges it for you, how you deserve to be treated. And I wish you both so much blissfulness in your Krishna consciousness, and I pray that you hold on to Shri Guru's lotus feet, and I just wish so much happiness and sunshine on your paths. Hare Krishna.
Jai Jagannath. Jai Gurudev. Shri Arjuna Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. This is my first meeting with you, and I got to engage in a wonderful chase with him where he wore me out at least 6 times. And then they left me way down at the far end while they walked back, and Shri to drag me back. I would love to offer whatever blessings I can to you. Padma Gopi has always been like a little sister to me. She's always been out there wanting to build houses with me and asking me if she can do this and do that. She helped build her own house there. She's a construction worker. I personally don't advise taking advice from me, but because you're like my sister, I have to give it anyways. I've already failed one marriage, but in the failing of the marriage, I learned a lot, and now I'm trying again. And I have one thing to say about marriage: go Team Grihastha. No matter what it takes, we gotta work together because we're a team. We're not sannyasis out on our own. So when you realize that, you can drop the ego right away and just love each other and just know that this is gonna be one hard journey. And going Grihastha is not easy, but it's beautiful, and you can really engage it in Krishna's service. And I hope that you guys can do that. I hope that we can all do that. Hari Bol.
Say something nobody else said.
I've been married for almost 40 years. And the way to wreck your marriage is, if you listen to all your little boyfriends and say, your wife should do this, your wife should do that. You don't listen to those idiots. And your little girlfriend's going to tell you, you don't have to do that, he should do this, he should do that. You both have to listen to each other and not your boyfriends and girlfriends.
Haribol. So, most important thing is to understand, all jokes aside, what I said earlier, it was part of my paper quote. And what did I say? I said representing Lakshmi, representing Vishnu. For a lot of people, this just goes right over the head. But this is very shastrically understood. The woman, the wife, is imbued with the energy of Lakshmi. That's not some fantastic idea that, well, maybe, or if it's like this, if she does this. No, the wife is imbued with Lakshmi. What does that mean? It means you serve the wife nicely, and Lakshmi is satisfied. Because why? Because Lakshmi is present. It's not that maybe Lakshmi is present. Lakshmi is present. So as a husband, it's your duty to honor that and respect that this is not my enjoyable object because it's a pretty young woman. So as soon as I have this mentality, this is Lakshmi, in present before me, your mind will be peaceful and you'll understand this is service. And this is Lord Vishnu present in the heart of your husband. It's not a fantastic idea. It's not some make-believe thing that's just there in the books, but it doesn't really mean it, We say these things because we want to make a strong impression. No, Vishnu is present in the husband. What does that mean? It means if we serve the husband properly, then Lord Vishnu is pleased. Period. So if you want to be happy in married life, never forget this single point ever. When you're yelling at your husband because he's an idiot, remember, Lord Vishnu is in his heart, but not just sitting there. No, Lord Vishnu is going to speak through his mouth if he's behaving properly. If he's not behaving properly, then Lakshmi should chastise him. But at the same time, you have to always remember that if we can control our minds and not be right, but always try to remember this is my service. This is my service to take care of this person. If we remember this single point, you will have all wealth and all power, and everybody will always come to your aid in any time of trouble. Because Radha and Krishna, Vishnu and Lakshmi, they're never in want. They always have everything, including friends, family, associates who come to their aid when they're squabbling. Radha and Krishna squabble. But of course their squabbles are transcendental. Our squabbles are stupid. But if we have this idea of service, if I serve this person properly, and sometimes just shut my little ego, because I just know in the back of my mind it's ego. We all know when it's the false ego. We all do. She's very good. She understands herself. She has very good inner voice. She knows when it's false ego. And you have a good inner voice. You just run a little too far. So sometimes, this single point, this is Vishnu, this is Lakshmi. They're present in our hearts fully to whatever extent we expect them to be. If we think, oh no, Vishnu's some over there, Krishna is someplace far away, then he is. But if you always think, Krishna is in my heart and he will help me say the right thing, that's your job. Lakshmi is in my heart. I need to protect my husband to help him say the right thing. If we have this mood, always, everything will be very nice. Not just a little bit nice, but very nice. All wealth, all auspicious, all power, everything. You become the queens and kings of wherever you are. And it'll be very good. Hare Krishna.